Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Darkcast Network. Indie pods with a dark side.
Hey, little skeletons. I'm Gina.
And I'm Amber.
And today, we're diving into a story that's equal parts heartbreaking and infuriating. It's about a young woman who had her whole life ahead of her, filled with dreams, love, and hope for a better future. But all of that was violently ripped away by people she trusted, people she thought were her friends. This is the story of Mahogany Jaquise Jackson, a 20-year-old mother working hard to turn her life around when it was stolen in a way so cruel that it's hard to wrap your head around.
Let's start with Mahogany's childhood. She was born on April 29th, 2003, to Moses Jackson Jr. and Gail Maddox Trotter in Birmingham, Alabama. From a young age, Mahogany was known for her big heart and warm personality. And when we say big heart, we mean it. As a little girl, Mahogany once snuck food from her own house to feed a neighbor who couldn't afford groceries. She saw someone in need and couldn't just look the other way. That's just who she was. She was also the most adorable baby. We'll have a picture of her on our socials, so be sure to go take a look.
Growing up, Mahogany attended Birmingham Public Schools and later graduated from Job Corps, a program designed to help young adults build a better future. But Mahogany's most important role came early. She became a mom as a teenager. It wasn't easy, and she struggled at first. But just a few months before her death, she told her mom, Gail, that she was ready to turn things around. She wanted to be the best mom she could be for her 3-year-old daughter and had big plans for her future.
Her dream? To become a hairstylist. Mahogany loved practicing braids and styles on her daughter, making her feel like the most special little girl in the world. You could tell she was determined to make a brighter future for both of them. But here's the thing. Mahogany had a habit of loving the wrong people. Don't we all? Her mom, Gail, said this was a struggle for her. And despite trying to distance herself from some toxic friendships, it wasn't as easy as just cutting ties. Breaking free takes time, and Mahogany was making progress with the help of her cousins. They were helping her find a job, and she was finally starting to see a brighter future. But all of that came crashing down in the early morning hours of February 25th, 2024.
At around 4 a.m., Mahogany texted her sister and mother. It was the kind of message no one ever wants to receive. She said that she was being held hostage at apartment 3 in the Serenity Apartments in Southwest Birmingham. She shared her location and told them to call the police. But tragically, her family didn't see the messages until closer to 8 a.m. By that point, it was too late. The Serenity Apartments weren't unfamiliar to Mahogany. One of her friends, Tasia Lewis, lived there. But calling Tasia a friend feels generous. As we'll see, she played a far more sinister role in this story.
That morning, Mahogany's mom, Gail, was on her way to Atlanta to pick up family members from the airport when she got the call from her other daughter. Gail immediately checked her phone and saw the text Mahogany had sent hours earlier. Panicked, she contacted the Birmingham Police Department and they rushed to apartment 3. When officers arrived, Tasia Lewis stalled them, but eventually she let them inside. She claimed Mahogany had left around 2 a.m., but we know that wasn't true. Mahogany's shared location from 4 a.m. told a different story.
By that evening, Birmingham police officially opened a missing persons case for Mahogany. Hours passed with no leads, and then, at 2:19 a.m. on February 26th, a passerby made a horrifying discovery. On a stretch of road called Dead Man's Road, a desolate area known for illegal dumping, Mahogany's body was found beneath 2 discarded mattresses. She had been shot execution style in the back of the head. A young mother trying to create a better life for her daughter had been left on the side of the road like trash. It's devastating, infuriating, and utterly senseless.
As investigators processed the scene, a witness showed up at the police station with information that would blow the case wide open. This person, who described himself as like a brother to Tasia Lewis, claimed Lewis had called him the morning Mahogany's family and the police showed up at her apartment. Now, let me pause here for a second because this case has a lot of names. 8, to be exact. We'll do our best to keep it clear for you by introducing each suspect with their full name and then referring to them by their last name. If you want to put faces to these names, head on over to our socials and we'll show you just who these awful people are.
Not that they deserve any attention from anyone, but if you want to put it all together, it'll be there for you.
Sometimes does help to put faces to a name when you have so many people in the mix.
Absolutely. So back to the witness. He said he wasn't involved in Mahogany's disappearance and wanted to clear his name after seeing accusations pop up on social media. According to the witness, he, Lewis, and her roommate, Sanaya McCall, went to Brandon Pope's house. There, they met Frances Harris, who allegedly confessed to killing Mahogany and even showed the witness her body. What's even more horrifying is that much of Mahogany's assault was recorded on the suspect's phones. You heard that right. Videos of her brutal treatment exist, providing investigators with a chilling look at what she endured. And you know what's gross, but maybe good for some people is that these videos are still available online. And while researching, I did come across a couple of links, which I didn't click because I personally couldn't handle watching anything like this. But And I do hope it gets removed for the sake of her family.
Right.
Because nobody needs to watch this assault that happened on this 20-year-old girl. Because her parents and the rest of her family don't need people seeing the last hours of her life.
That's not how they want her remembered.
No, not at all.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow. It's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
So here's what we know. According to AL.com, tensions escalated after Mahogany allegedly stole a gun from someone in this group, which was later stolen back. On the night of Saturday, February 23rd, Mahogany went to Pope's house with several of the suspects. According to the suspects, Mahogany was still mad about the stolen gun and confronted several people at Pope's house. Witnesses, who are also the suspects, said Mahogany took a gun, this wasn't the gun in question, and forced Pope to strip in front of the group to prove he didn't have her things. He didn't. But the humiliation reportedly led Pope to say, "Kill her or do something to her." And that's when everything spiraled out of control. What happened next is so graphic and heartbreaking that we're only going to share the details necessary to understand the case. The videos taken during the assault show Mahogany being violently attacked. Lewis and McCall were seen stomping on her and spitting on her while she lay helpless on the ground. At one point, Mahogany pleaded with her attackers, saying, "You won," in the hopes they would let her go. But instead of stopping, they escalated the violence.
During the assault, one of the suspects checked Mahogany's phone and found the messages she'd sent to her family begging for help. That's when Harris reportedly said, "She ain't going nowhere." And that chilling statement wasn't just hearsay, it was captured on video. I wish we could say this is the end of the assault, but it was just the beginning. Mahogany was then stripped, beaten, and dragged by her hair before being stuffed, naked and handcuffed, into the trunk of a car. She was taken to Lewis and McCall's apartment, where the horrors continued. There, Mahogany was sexually assaulted at gunpoint by several guns from several people, including Harris, Pope, and Jeremiah McDowell. Two other women, Giovanni Clapp and Ariana Lachey Robinson, also took part in the attack.
Eventually, Harris, Pope, and McDowell told Mahogany they were going to clean trash out of Harris's car before dropping her off at home. But instead, they drove her to Dead Man's Road. According to Detective Mark Green, while Pope and McDowell were cleaning out the car, Harris walked up behind Mahogany and shot her in the back of the head. They covered her body with 2 mattresses and left her there, discarded like the rest of the garbage. The 5 videos recorded by McDowell and McCall became crucial evidence, exposing the horrifying reality of what Mahogany endured. Just 2 days after her body was found, 7 suspects were arrested on February 28, 2024. An 8th was taken into custody on March 1st.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Pope, Harris, and McDowell were charged with capital murder, kidnapping, and sodomy, charges that carry life in prison without parole, or the death penalty in Alabama. The other suspects, including Tasia Lewis, Giovanni Clapp, Sanaya McCall, Blair Green, and Ariana Robinson, initially faced felony murder charges. In the weeks that followed, a grand jury reviewed the overwhelming evidence, and in September of 2024, capital murder charges were filed against all 8 suspects. Mahogany's mother, Gail, attended every court appearance, vowing to see justice served for her daughter. She told reporters, "It does my heart good to see our justice system working on behalf of my daughter." Mahogany's story doesn't end with her tragic death. Her 3-year-old daughter will grow up surrounded by the love and stability of Mahogany's mother, brother, and sister-in-law. On February 29, 2024, family and friends gathered for a candlelight vigil and balloon release to honor her memory. Her funeral took place on March 2nd at CBF Ministries in Birmingham. Mahogany deserved so much more than this. She was getting her life on track, looking for a stable job, and trying to support her little family. It's awful that she didn't get the chance to fully sever ties with the people who were keeping her from achieving those goals. The same people who ultimately ended up killing her. A trial date hasn't been set yet, but we will continue to follow Mahogany's case and share updates as we learn more. This is just such a tragic case that was completely preventable. And I know a lot of people are going to have opinions about what happened, Mahogany's actions, yada yada. But at the end of the day, she was a 20-year-old woman just trying to better herself for her daughter. It's hard because I can already see it now, like all the people that are going to have their certain opinions about whatever kind of lifestyle she had that led this to happening, but it doesn't matter. Like, whatever the beef was that they were having, there's no reason for it to escalate to something like this. And what I don't understand is, how is it that one person gets embarrassed or, called out or whatever, and then suddenly you've got 7 other people just willing to torture this woman to death because one guy got his feelings hurt?
I hate to say it, but like sheep mentality. One person's the ringleader, they're going to do whatever. Yeah, no, there's literally nothing that Mahogany had done in her lifetime that justified the actions of them, of what happened to her. There's no reason.
No, absolutely not.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, even if it's wrong. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but at the end of the day, she did not deserve what happened to her.
No, not at all. And I was thinking about this earlier, actually, in the sheep mentality thing, like you mentioned. So why is it that in a situation like this, one person can say, okay, get her because she did something to me. But in other circumstances where you have someone that is being attacked and you've got all these witnesses around, they just sit there and do nothing. But it's weird to me how these people just blindly went along with this guy to do these things. And then in other circumstances, people will just sit back and do nothing.
Fear makes people do crazy things.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they were scared
Fear drives
of
a lot. Yeah. So that's a sheep mentality. If you're afraid of somebody, because look at what ended up happening to her. They're probably afraid of what would happen to them if they didn't go along with it.
Yeah.
It's not justification.
No.
But that's also, people can be afraid of what could happen if they come forward and say something or if they try to help.
Absolutely. And I do wonder if that witness wasn't worried about themselves getting in trouble, do you think they would have come forward? If not, to save their own skin?
I don't know.
Yeah. You would like to think so.
You'd like to think so, yes. But fear drove them to come forward because they didn't want to go down. But at the videos, and people like to share stuff, like you said, there's still those videos circulating online. You can find them. Mm-hmm. It would have been a matter of time, even if that witness hadn't come forward, it would have been a matter of time before those videos had surfaced and they would have been able to nail him anyway.
Absolutely. And it just goes to show how thoughtless of an act this was. If they are actively recording themselves doing this thing and then telling other people about it and telling other people that there are videos, it's like, okay.
Some people just think they're untouchable.
Yeah. And I definitely think that's probably what was happening here. And I did do some research about Birmingham, and there's a whole history about Birmingham that we could get into, as far as race things and culture and everything and the struggles they've had for decades. It is a hard place to live. There's not a lot of opportunities for people. The poverty rate is 107% higher than the national average in Birmingham. And 60 out of every 1,000 people are victims of crime every year in this city that has less than 200,000 people in it. That means your chance of being a victim of either a property crime or a violent crime is 1 in 17. It has one of the highest crime rates in the country. It's a very unsafe place to be because there are not a lot of opportunities for people in this city, so they have to do other things that aren't necessarily super above board to support themselves. And you can't blame them for that. But with that comes all of these other things. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's because of what happened to Mahogany or if she was just part of the reason that they started doing this, but in May of this year, it was announced that the Birmingham Police Department was partnering with Alabama Power, like the power company, to install 330 cameras across the city to aid law enforcement in fighting crime. So these cameras will have license plate readers and real-time monitoring, so the law enforcement can actually sit and watch these cameras to see what's actively happening around the city. And this gives them the ability to more quickly apprehend people. And this is apartment complexes, business is everything. And they decided to do this because of a recent study that showed around 700,000 crimes are solved every year with the help of cameras. And they're hoping that if people in the town know that they're being watched, that they won't do
They'll
things.
think twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can only hope that that brings some sort of relief as far as like the crime and people feeling unsafe there. But I mean, it doesn't solve all the other issues that they've got. Yep. But you can only hope that maybe there will be less people that end up in the same situation.
Well, we have several pictures of Mahogany up on our socials, so go follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Weird True Crime to see those. We're also possibly toying with the idea of video versions of the episodes on Patreon once we hit our next goal. So if you like your podcasts in video format, consider subscribing on Patreon for ad-free episodes and video content.
And if you're enjoying this creepy little corner, please consider telling a couple of friends about the podcast and leaving us a 5-star rating and review wherever you listen. Have a true crime case, dumb criminal, or other story you'd like us to know? Fill out the contact form on our website, weirdtruecrime.com, or email us at weirdtruecrime@gmail.com. We'll be back next week with a lighter episode that may or may not be holiday themed. So until next time, stay safe.
And make good choices. Bye.
Bye.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.